In 2014, the Connacht Ulster Alliance Institutes of Technology at GMIT, Letterkenny IT and IT Sligo collaborated on the MyExperience Project to make experience count and the recognition of prior learning. The project consists of a toolkit of 3 components: MyExperience.ie, which is a web portal, information site for candidates on how RPL works and gives them access then to apply for RPL through the ePortfolio. The ePortfolio was built in Moodle. We looked at a number of options for ePortfolios, off-the-shelf ePortfolios. What we were really focused on here was the assessment of learning, and we were familiar with Moodle as a platform for assessment of learning at both GMIT and IT Sligo. The third component of the RPL toolkit is the CPD Learn Online. This is an online training course for staff, assessors and mentors. It consists of a number of free courses and there's also a 10 credit module at level 9. When a person applies to one of our 3 institutes but do not meet the standard entry requirements, but possibly have a case for entry via RPL, they're directed to the MyExperience.ie website, which contains information on prior certified and prior experiential learning, and also has information on how RPL works, how to apply, references the framework of qualifications, and includes videos on success stories and student journeys. Information here on Student Success Toolbox, and also the course that I mentioned there for staff in higher education. The application for RPL starts from the website using this button. When we click here, it brings us through into Moodle. This is the interface, and Moodle was heavily customized to develop this ePortfolio. There are a number of steps here that we remind the student that they must have applied for a program at one of the 3 institutes before applying for RPL. You can't just apply for RPL. Here I'm logged in as a fictitious applicant. So I create my ePortfolio. Again, we have to confirm that I've been in contact with the institute. I can then go to build my ePortfolio. This is the interface that all of the applicants use. It lists the institute that they've applied to, the discipline and the program at the top. There are then 5 tabs that they need to work through: your profile, your education, your work experience, additional evidence and a final overview. Each section contains here at the top an example profile, or an example of your education, or an example of your work experience. I can click here. So it's just a simple screen there that shows what we're looking for. Here I can fill in some information, something about myself, address, general details that we would collect with any system for RPL applications. This one is online. The next one, in your education, you list the programs that you've completed, either accredited or non-accredited. The NFQ level, the institute provider, the contact details for that, the dates that you did the course, the transcript of results, final subjects with the weighting, and then you can add non-accredited programs, and you can keep adding further programs, either accredited or non-accredited. Again, on the example, the third tab then is your work experience. So we're looking here for the evidence, and this is the challenging part with experiential learning. We're looking for the evidence that an applicant has met the learning outcomes. Here the person has listed a job title, the name of the employer, and then I'm given the roles and responsibilities. And then what we're looking for is we're looking for them to list the learning outcomes and show how they meet those learning outcomes. That requires a conversation with an academic in one of the institutes, head of department, or even a mentor. And then there's achievements and challenges, uploading evidence. So this is the meaty part of the tool in a way. You move then to the additional evidence, motivation for applying for the program. This is very important. We know that from our experience in IT Sligo that students who come through the RPL process onto particularly our online learning programs are very motivated, and it's important that they have that motivation to come onto the program. So they can submit a CV in here and further evidence. Evidence could be a business plan, published work, conference participation, any kind of a work project that they've done relating to their area. And then the final part is an overview, which is just so that the applicant can review their submission. In this case, the applicant has actually made the submission. But if you're going live on this process, then there's a point here where you submit your application. This then triggers an email to the associated assessor for that program or that module. Following the submission of an application, an assessor, normally the program coordinator or an academic within the program, will then go into the ePortfolio tool and assess that application. This is the interface. So we have 3 tabs here: active applications, those that have been signed off, and those that are archived. So the active ones are those that a decision has yet to be made on, names here blocked out, dates of submission. So the assessor can go in and select the applicant and then review their application. And the next step, we move to the signed off tab. So these have been signed off by the internal assessor and notes have been made. Ultimately, in this notes box, we have to have a decision whether it was the application was approved or not approved. The final step then is for an institute assignee, such as an assistant registrar, to sign off to confirm that the process has been followed. And then the last stage then is those files can be archived. Research has shown that RPL is latent within Ireland. Many people don't know about it. They don't know what it is, and they don't know that they can use it for access into education, further higher education. So it's important that our institutes promote RPL, and we do that at IT Sligo. We do that through our industry leads, through our business development people working with very much with industry. We have obviously a lot of online students, over 5,000, and we have bespoke programs that have been developed in conjunction with major employers. So the RPL process is discussed and explained to the employees at that stage. It's also important to support the applicants through the process. We have now a team of online student advisors that will support and mentor the applicants through the process and liaise with the assessors. And it's also important that we support staff. We have developed, as I said at the start, online courses that help staff to assess prior learning, and particularly experiential learning, which is very difficult to do. So we have the supports in place for the staff and for the applicants. 2 questions that you might consider in the breakout groups today are these. If you were required to assess a candidate for recognised prior learning, what features, areas would you like to see in an ePortfolio assessment tool? And question 2, what are the challenges assessors face when assessing experiential learning?